Hi, welcome to Flowtra, your portal automation tool. In this demo, we're going to look at a flow that reads providers from a CSV file, autofills their information, and updates them in multiple portals in one run. Let's start by looking at the flow steps inside Flowtra. First, I've already signed into the Flowtra dashboard, and I'm looking at a saved flow for multi-portal provider updates. At the top, you can see the login steps. Next, there's an import data step called Provider CSV. This step loads a CSV file from my machine with 4 columns: NPI, provider_name, location, phone. That dataset is what we'll loop through for the rest of the flow. Below that, there's a data loop step called Provider Loop. This tells Flowtra, for each row in the Provider CSV, run the steps inside this loop. Inside the loop, the first few steps update the Northwind Health portal. Flowtra fills in the NPI field, provider_name, location and phone number from CSV. Then it clicks Save Provider in the Northwind section. Right after the save, there's a key value extract step for Northwind. This step looks at the confirmation banner and pulls out the status message, and a details line that includes details. Those values are stored in a dataset, so we can export a clean update report at the end. Next, it moves over to the second portal. In a real workflow, this could be a different payer site. In our demo, I'm using a second mock portal. Inside this portal, Flowtra maps the fields from the CSV. Then it clicks Save to write updates to the second portal. Just like with Northwind, there's a key value extract step right after the save. This reads the confirmation message from the second portal, and can also capture the application or tracking ID and store it back into spreadsheet for future status checks. At the bottom of the flow, outside the loop, I've added 2 export steps. These export steps takes all the status rows we collected and writes them out to corresponding CSV file. Each row in that CSV represents confirmation message and details we grabbed from the screen. Now that the flow is ready, let's run it through the Flowtra agent. I'll download this flow file from the dashboard. Then go to the Flowtra agent in the system tray and choose Local Run. From here, I select the flow we just downloaded and click Run. The agent launches a browser and runs the exact steps we just reviewed. For each provider in the CSV, Flowtra logs into the demo portal, updates the Northwind provider profile with NPI, name, and location, saves and confirms the update, switches to the second portal, updates the same provider record there, and again saves and captures the confirmation. In a real environment, these would be your actual payer or network portals. We're just using a safe sandbox here to show the pattern. While the flow is replaying, let me show you how scheduling works in the Flowtra agent. In this schedule section, I can choose whether this flow runs manually, on a daily schedule, weekly, or using a custom cron expression if I need something more specific. I set the time, confirm the time zone, and for weekly runs I can pick the day of the week. Up here, I can also choose to run in background silent. Once I click schedule, the flow is added to this list and will run automatically on that schedule. When silent is enabled, the agent runs the browser in the background so users aren't interrupted, but the flow still logs in, updates the portals, and writes the CSV report on whatever schedule I've configured. Once the flow completes, the export step writes out a status report to the corresponding CSV. You can see the report includes exact confirmation message and detailed text captured from the portals. In a real setup, this could also include things like application or tracking IDs so you can reuse them for later status checks. You can keep this as an audit trail, or feed it into downstream systems to keep everything in sync. That's a quick look at how Flowtra can take a simple provider CSV and turn it into a fully automated, multi-portal update flow, with an exportable log at the end. If you'd like to see this against your own portals and provider files, head over to flowtra.app and check out the Design Partner program. We'll help you build your first few flows around your real workflows, so you can see how much manual work you can offload. While you're there, also take a look at the Help Center. It has step-by-step guides and short demo videos like this one, so you can get up and running quickly.